Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. I am Bo Oliver, joined here today with Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey. And before we get into today's podcast, we want to shout out our sponsor, Plum Deluxe Tea. Love trying new tea? Treat yourself to a cup of Plum Deluxe. From bold caffeinated blends to relaxing herbal teas, incredible dessert teas, or fun floral flavors, there's a delicious tea just waiting for you. Every blend is made fresh, in-house, using only the highest quality ingredients and carefully crafted recipes. They also have a popular Tea of the Month club, which gets you free shipping and other amazing perks. Speaking of amazing perks, we were privileged enough to be able to try some of Plum Deluxe teas. And they've got multiple types of teas. They've got black tea, chai tea, herbal tea, green tea. And they weren't joking about these carefully crafted recipes. I mean, Aaron, what do you have there? You have the mango apricot tea in your cup?
Yeah, I got the green tea. Are you finally becoming a tea guy? You're hopping on the bandwagon?
Dude,
it's great.
I kid you not. When they sent us this tea and I opened the box, the smell of tea just hit me. I was like, whoa.
Good smell.
What is that? I feel like we should heat this up.
Drink it.
And steep it.
Yeah,
right, and then drink it, exactly. No, but the mango, I mean, look at some of these ingredients. Obviously, you have mango, apricot, mango pieces, apple pieces as well, mango apricot essence. Another one that caught my eye was the Picard Blend black tea. And I'm not usually a black tea drinker, but this one, I was like, am I a black tea guy too? I think I'm
jumping into
the format. I'm like the tea avatar. And the recipe here is black tea, obviously, orange peels, pecan pieces, blue corn flowers, pecan essence. So yeah, I mean, just sampling all these teas, I'm kind of hyped up now on caffeine.
Yeah, no, I used to be a coffee guy, but I think recently I've really just been going with the tea, and I think this is perfect. I was usually a coffee guy, but I feel like coffee sometimes get me too jittery. That's why I switched to tea about like not a few years ago, like about a few months ago, and I love it.
I think a lot of people, especially in like the nerd community, it's in Scott Pilgrim, right? When he goes to the girl's house and she's got all her assorted teas. Tea's always been popular with nerds. So I think I'm ready to finally make that switch. I'm going to have all my little assortments.
Well, I already took all the green, so.
Well, I'll probably just have to go on the website. Use the link in our description, plumdeluxetea/nerdsoup. And also, you can use our VIP code, NerdSoup, to get 12% off. So I might use that as well. Get 12% off some more green tea, you fucking thief. But thank you to Plum Deluxe Tea for sponsoring this video. And like we said, check out the link, and there you go. Tea time, baby.
Tea time, baby.
Now, do we do the cold opening, or is Zach the cold opening?
We'll play the intro, then we can do like another cold opening, I guess.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Nerd Soup Podcast. I am Bo Oliver, joined here with Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, as you probably already know from our cold open /ad. And we're ready to get into the stories. We're ready to talk about the world of Hollywood, movies, video games, TV. I don't know why I switched video games and TV, but we have a lot of fun stories to talk about today. We have some major casting news for Rian Johnson's Knives Out 2. We also have trailers that dropped during the last podcast that we are going to talk about. And we have some Oscar-winning directors returning to their craft to get ready for their next films. And, of course, you can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, the Nerd Soup Podcast, all the platforms for podcasts on the web. And follow us on social media at Nerd Soup, Bo Soup, Nerd Soup Monkey, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, we're on TikTok here and there. We're TikToking. No?
I honestly made like the first few and then just never been on the app since.
It's very good for engagement.
I know. Yeah. Maybe I should like get back into it, but
get back to TikToking. Well, you have a video actually that's coming out tomorrow, right?
On TikTok.
Wow.
It's me doing the
You're dancing?
Are they still doing the Bust It challenge? What's the new TikTok? You may have missed that. I think they're doing like there's taking scoops of C4 and just swallowing them whole.
Right.
Maybe I could do that.
Maybe bring back like try and circle around. Like bring back the ice bucket challenge.
Planking?
But you're just raising money for Nerd Soup.
Remember planking?
Yeah, I'm great. Teddy doesn't believe me. I'm just fantastic at planking.
No, not actual planking like the workout, but people would just lay down.
No, they would plank on things.
If they weren't actually plank, they would just lay down flat.
Right, they were just laying down flat. Right.
So we're bringing back planking?
I thought they were also planking. I thought that was part of it. No.
Well, I'm going to bring back planking. Where should I plank?
you go plank your mother.
What the hell?
It's the first thing that came to my head.
Jesus Christ.
The vessel. Go plank the vessel. I'm pretty sure no one's planked the vessel. The vessel wasn't around for planking. You know what the vessel is, right?
I have no idea.
It's that thing in the city. That giant
mall. I'm gonna plank the Space Needle.
What's a Space Needle?
The thing in Seattle.
Oh, right. That'd be a fun way to go out. You'd always be remembered as a Space Needle man.
Yeah. And I'll probably be stuck there. Or maybe because it's so big, the point is big enough to support me. And
Right. No, the point is just kind of like a floor.
Yeah.
You know?
So maybe
to us, it looks like a point.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'll find something else to impale me. But, yeah, so bringing back planking. What else is there? What'd you say about Oscar-winning directors?
Bong Joon Ho is working on his next movie.
Oh.
That's on our old topic list.
I thought you said Oscar-winning director returning, and I kind of blanked out. I thought you meant Ben Affleck returning with J-Lo. Which I think should be the main story because he stole A-Rod's girl, and as a Yankee fan, I can't let that fly.
He just came out of a relationship with Ana de Armas. You just came out of a relationship with A-Rod. I feel bad for like A-Rod's kids who are now like, why is stepmommy banging Daredevil?
Batman.
No, he's Daredevil. Apparently the rumors are that he was hitting up J-Lo while she was dating A-Rod.
Yeah.
You're Daredevil now. You're not Batman anymore. Batman wouldn't do that.
Someone called it tampering.
That is, no, he should be fined.
And he's a big Red Sox fan, so I think that's the play.
How could she do that?
To A-Rod?
How can she? No, for herself. Because usually you adopt the team of your spouse, right? When the spouse is
They also tried to buy the Mets.
He just bought the T-Wolves. Maybe she fucked up.
Ever been down so bad you buy the fucking Minnesota Timberwolves?
He was just drunk one night like, I could turn that franchise around.
You know what they say, Ben Affleck and J-Lo, always find your way. I'm A-Rod. I'm going Jennifer Gardner.
So we parted ways like Ben and J-Lo.
You go Jennifer Gardner.
Name the rapper.
2 Chainz.
Jay-Z.
But
you just confused the Jay-Z lyric for 2 Chainz. I hope you apologize to Mr. Sean Carter. He's coming on the pod next week. Let's go to the first story here. We have Knives Out. Oh, before we go to the first story, I want to tell you guys that our first interview that we had planned for a few weeks ago will be dropping next week, hopefully on Tuesday. We have it scheduled for this weekend. We had some setbacks, but we're gearing up. Like we mentioned before, it's going to be with our friend Eric Anthony Nolan, who has been featured as an extra on Game of Thrones for many, many years. So he's got a lot of fun stories to talk about. So looking forward to that. And let's get into the first story. We have Knives Out casting news. I don't even know who to start with because yesterday we got hit with Dave Bautista.
Yep.
Has been cast in Knives Out too. And then a little bit later, all of a sudden, Edward Norton popped in. Hey.
Janelle Monae.
I was going to get to them.
Kevin Spacey.
I was going to get... He's on it. No, he's playing the villain. Just kidding. I was going to list them all off, but yes, Janelle Monae.
Yeah.
And then the big one today was Kathryn Hahn.
Oh.
Name with a K. Kind of one of those no-brainer castings that I'm surprised we didn't suggest when we get hit with the question, who would you like to see in Knives Out 2? I think she's got the perfect personality for this type of movie. I think she's an actress who can fit into any genre, any type of film. But for a movie like Knives Out, where the actors and actresses are allowed to have so much fun with their roles, this is just a perfect fit. And it's cool to see her coming off of the success of WandaVision, having her star rise a bit from that because so many people enjoyed her. So, like I said, it's just nice to see as a fan of this actress.
Yeah.
And also for the other ones, too.
Yeah, Janelle Monae is great. I think when you talk about like a Dave Bautista and kind of the news recently that he doesn't really want to play Drax anymore.
Well, and he elaborated on that as well.
Yeah.
He mentioned that he thought Marvel kind of dropped the ball with the backstory and leaned too much into the comedy, which is a complaint that we've had about the character.
But just in general, like his film choices, like compare, like maybe it's not a fair comparison, but just wrestlers turn actors, the movies he chooses and that he's going to be a part of going forward. I mean,
he may be the best example of it.
Yeah.
Of making the transition.
Because The Rock, The Rock.
Yeah.
You know what kind of movie he's in. You know what kind of performance you're going to get. And he excels at that. He's the biggest movie star in the world. But
He might not be sexy.
The Rock? What do you mean?
A critic pointed this out to me the
Like
other day.
aesthetically?
Not to me, but in his review, that his movies are always sexless. And I was like, yeah.
You want to see The Rock bang?
It's weird because his sex appeal is very much friendly father figure in a way.
That's
Where
sexy,
you feel,
right?
I guess, but I think Bautista you could make the case Bautista's a little sexier.
Look, if The Rock's not
Bautista
sexy,
could
then
do the Tower movie. Rock can't do Stuber.
Fair.
Okay. I was looking for a fight, but I'll take the win.
If The Rock's not sexy, then I don't know. There's no hope for anybody out there. He's the
I'm not
fucking
saying
Rock.
he's not sexy. I'm saying his movies aren't sexy.
Okay.
But to your point
Walking
about
Tall,
Bautista,
that was hot when he was fucking in the jail cell.
haven't seen it.
Have you seen Walking
Bautista,
Tall?
no.
That's like one of the first Rock movies.
Bautista has done a very good job of understanding what he can bring to a film.
Right, but like just who he's, Ryan Johnson working with Denis Villeneuve, just like things like that. He seems to like really,
He's got good taste.
yeah, but not shy. Like he's not afraid to like, he can definitely excel in those type of roles. But he shows different kind of personality and different kind of acting traits and chops and the different shit he's been doing. So
Without a doubt. Like I said, I think he's the best at choosing his films when it comes to wrestlers crossing over to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it probably has to do with luck. The luck of having James Gunn fight for you to appear in Guardians of the Galaxy. Because luck always plays a part in Hollywood. But now he's found himself a lane where you would think a lot of these films are maybe approaching him. Hey, we can get Bautista because even though he is this big hulking guy, he brings a bit more nuance to his performances. I think he was in Blade Runner 2049 for 5 minutes, and it's an unforgettable performance because of the raw emotion he brought to that character. So,
what do you think would happen if I took a cycle of steroids? Not saying that I think Dave Bautista and them take steroids. I'm just saying he's a big fucking dude.
no, he's 100% taking steroids. So is The Rock. All those guys. 50
whatever.
Cent probably took steroids. If you took a cycle of steroids, you got to work out harder, right?
Yeah, but just one. Just like to test the waters. Think anything will happen?
Let's try it out. I think that would be fun for the fans.
Yeah.
Aaron does steroids.
Yeah. No side effects. Well, there probably will be, but like if it's only a month, I'm sure I'm not gonna get like the big
No,
ones.
they say the side effects, the big ones are years. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start juicing.
I'm going to start juicing.
I'll look like Dave Bautista.
You're walking down the street. Hey, I'm starting juicing. I'm going to start juicing.
I'm juicing, baby.
Who else do we have here? Janelle Monae, once again, another fine actress who, I think the last performance of hers that comes to mind is Hidden Figures.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she has the musical background as well. But once again, it's just actors that feel like they do belong in this universe. And Ed Norton, of course, one of the best actors working today. He's obviously had his comedic moments in films like Birdman or some of the Wes Anderson projects, so they can all adapt to the style that is Knives Out, the Knives Out universe. So how can you not be excited for this, right? You're just on the edge of your seat waiting for more casting news. I'm sure by the time this drops, Daniel Day-Lewis is going to be in it.
Who? All right.
Kevin Hart.
Who did it?
Oh, Kathryn Hahn, Agatha all along. No, I'd like the idea of I think Norton's the guy, right? Because Norton can be a friendly face that
Well, it's like we
that
called
you
it.
can't trust.
We called it in the first movie, but the way they kind of got there was kind of more of the twist,
I want a good old-fashioned twist at this one.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it.
It's like maybe Bautista. So you wouldn't think it's Bautista.
Right.
Janelle Monae. Maybe.
I think it could either be Janelle, Dave, Ed, or Kathryn Hahn. One of those four.
What if it's LeBlanc?
Ooh. Face turn. He's too pure-hearted. Too
Trying
pure-hearted.
to think. Lakeith Stanfield's going to be in this one too, right?
Is he?
I think he's returning.
I thought he was a local cop.
Yeah, maybe, he was
quit.
impressed and brought him on the squad. You got to think, like,
No, I want...
he was big. Like, he wasn't... We knew him, but, like, I feel like since that movie, he's gone... Obviously, with the Oscar noms and award hype and everything like that, he's more of a name now.
Right.
So I feel like, well, we have him,
Yeah,
who cares
I wonder.
how he's in it? Just we can give him maybe a little bit of a bigger role. But yeah, these movies, there's only one out, but the one we have had and what we expect from the future Knives Out movies is just a lot of fun.
Right.
Where you can allow these actors to really, like you said, show their personality throughout these films. And a lot of Rian Johnson's personality comes out in these films as well. So I'm excited. Knives Out.
Right. Yeah.
2.
And like I said, we're going to drop this podcast, and I guarantee we're going to get 2 or 3 more names for this cast. The last cast was huge. It was an ensemble cast, like 11 or 12. I don't know the exact number. So we still have some names here.
I want them to bring back Michael Shannon for each one, but he plays a different character each time.
You like your cookie, you? That would be good. Have some more cookies. It's a line from the movie.
I know. Yeah, just bring back Michael Shannon for every movie. That's my idea.
And every movie that's ever existed?
Pretty much.
Can't do that. You kill him.
Name a movie.
I'm saying physically he cannot appear in every movie.
Yes, he can.
He'll die.
Name a movie, and I guarantee Michael Shannon fits perfectly into
Shrek.
Oh, are you kidding me? He was born to be Shrek. Be in Shrek.
Be Shrek?
He could be Shrek, too.
Yeah, Michael Shannon cannot be Shrek.
He could be in Shrek, though.
I can't think of a character off the top of my head that I would replace Michael Shannon's voice with. Michael Shannon, Pinocchio?
Stupid nose. I can't do a good Michael Shannon.
I can just do the cookie line. All right, let's just move on to the next story.
Why does my nose keep growing?
That's just Pinocchio. We do need a live-action Pinocchio. Isn't that in the way?
We are getting one.
Oh.
Tom Hanks.
No need to scream. Oh, he's Geppetto, right?
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be Italian?
Tom Hanks can be anything.
Can't be a father, apparently.
Why? I think Collins turned out wonderfully.
Can't be a consistent father. Maybe that's what he was going for. No, Chet Hankson's fine.
I think you need a Chet. If you're Tom Hanks, you need a Chet.
There are certain personalities. Chet Hanks hasn't done anything wrong. I think he's upset some people here and there. But there are certain personalities where I wouldn't be surprised if 5 years Chet Hanks is a name that you can't even touch. So I kind of I try to do like the Westworld Rehoboam, kind of put an algorithm in my head, like which celebrity is going to be canceled because I won't hype them up that much, you know? So there are certain celebrities where if you don't hear me mentioning them a lot, I've canceled them in my own head. I'm anticipating the cancellation.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard you talk about Tavia Spencer. You think she's going to get canceled? Jason Sudeikis? Wow. That's fucked up, man.
I'm just saying, watch out for some of these folks that I'm not mentioning.
Ben Stiller? What did he do?
No, Ben Stiller's actually a very...
When's the last time you've talked about
He tweets more about the Knicks than you do, so... He's got to make some movies. He wants me to talk about him. I'm talking about the relevant people. You can't cancel Ben Stiller at this point in his career. He doesn't do anything.
You did. So you haven't talked about
Ben Stiller's
it.
Canceled. All right, let's all right, let's move on to the next story about a movie that is very much not canceled, but it kind of is a reboot. The Suicide Squad. The story concerning this movie is that it's been rated R, an extreme hard R, according to the article here. It's being rated R for strong violence, gore, language throughout, and some sexual references, drug use, and graphic nudity.
Graphic nudity?
Yeah, you're not seeing it? Is that where you draw the line? Oh, you're just excited.
Yeah. King Shark, you think?
King Shark, baby.
Let's go.
He's already got the shirt off. He's just walking around in shorts. Jorts, really.
Yeah. King Shark and Harley Quinn sexy, huh? That's what you're going for, James Gunn?
He's about to get himself canceled again.
I mean...
Just kidding. Hope that doesn't happen. This was eye-opening, though, to see that it's an extreme hard R.
Yeah.
There are not all rated R movies are made equal. That is true.
Right. I mean, some of them just go because they say fuck too many times, right?
Yeah. 3 fucks, you're rated R. 2 fucks.
And I think at that point, it's like, well, once you got the R, like, I never understood, like, all right, well, embrace the R.
Yeah.
You did it just say another fuck. Well, add some guts, add some blood.
I can't imagine many movies
violence.
are treading that line, right? Because it doesn't make sense. If you have 2 fucks, just take out one of the fucks. Or if you got 3 fucks, right?
It's Snyder Cut.
Yeah, no, Snyder is someone who does that. Yeah, without a doubt. And also the Ultimate Edition of Batman v Superman. This is rated R now because we got 2 fucks. So stupid. But this looks like it's going to be the traditional rated R. I mean, the cast of this movie, R.I.P., pray for them because he's going to murder some of these characters. And he said time and time again that Warner Brothers gave him permission to murder a lot of these characters. You imagine that a lot of them aren't franchise starters, that they are a lot of B-list characters. But the first Suicide Squad, I can't remember anybody who died except the dude who climbs walls in the beginning.
R.I.P.
And he was just made an example of by Amanda Waller. So I want to like Harley Quinn, last person standing.
She's the untouchable.
Right, yeah. I think that would be hilarious.
That's actually, I think that's a good, like, just in terms of, like, superhero genre, right? Where the only really R movie that's really deserving is, like, Deadpool in terms of, like, DC, Marvel, and stuff.
Logan.
So. Right, that's true. For violence, yeah, it's very violent. So if you can kind of combine those two elements, right? Because with Deadpool is violent too.
Yeah, right. That's like, what they're going for here.
Yeah.
Might get the best of both worlds.
Especially if this movie does well, it could kind of change the landscape of future movies that want to kind of test the waters a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing superhero projects go in the direction, not only in movies, but in television. I don't want to say that superhero stories are growing up, but it feels like we are having, it's not only the artists that want to tell these stories, it's the studios allowing them to.
Right. I think we're both fans of James Gunn, and I think he's kind of the perfect fit for this type of movie, the Suicide Squad, because if you take some of like the sensibilities that we've seen in him when he directed the two Guardians movies, very creative within the MCU, kind of reinvented some of we're kind of strayed away from a lot of the quote-unquote cookie-cutter Marvel-type movies and really added his own style. And now if you give him free reign to pretty much with no restrictions in terms of rating or what to do, I think it could end up being really fun, really good, which...
I have high hopes for this.
Me
because
too.
Of a lot of the reasons that you just suggested. After coming off of that first Suicide Squad movie, it's a premise that I've always enjoyed, even from the comics. It's one of the kind of the niche franchises that I was aware of before it became a movie. So I want to see it done well. And I think it can be a franchise starter where James Gunn does come back for the Suicide Squad 2 or Suicide Squad 3, and it's just a new roster each time that he gets to murder. And like you said, hopefully he has the chance, or hopefully he shows how creative he can be with this movie.
What do you think's like the least, I guess, heinous crime you can do, but still be in the Suicide Squad? You got Harley Quinn helping murder Jason Todd. I'm sure King Shark's eating people, or, they've done some rough stuff. What's like, you can't get into the Suicide Squad for like loitering.
Right. And you're a superhero, super villain, you're not loitering.
They loiter.
You think so?
I'm sure. You ever get
Lex
caught?
Luthor's out at the park loitering?
It's out after dusk.
Yeah, no, you got to be a bad guy to be a part of this crew. That's what the first movie didn't do a good enough job of, is showing how despicable these people are. They tried to make them heroes. Clear studio interference. I'm sure Will Smith was like, you got to give me a daughter. I can't just be a bad guy. I have to have a daughter.
But I'm just thinking like they got like fucking Jimmy down the street who got busted like selling an eighth.
You think they're going to get...
and all of a sudden he's in the fucking Suicide Squad.
They're going to get like the fucking local plug, get everyone high.
Yeah, it's like, why am I here? I have a chip in my neck now. Well, I just got busted. Like Jesse Pinkman gets caught like selling crack, and now he's in the Suicide Squad.
He's the heart and soul of the team. I think that would humanize them. You put a nice...
It's like I'm literally in jail for like 2 months.
Hey, get an early sentence.
Yeah.
All right, go on home. Just got to survive fighting against whatever the fuck that was in the first one.
I'm watching Breaking Bad, man. It's so... Seeing Walt now...
I did respect your tweet, though, about how you should just be watching Better Call Saul.
I know, but I'm too late.
You're a maniac.
I'm like 4 episodes in, so I'm already hooked.
Too late.
I'm hooked. Seeing Walt now and knowing what he becomes, it's
dies.
so fucking good.
He dies in the end.
I know. It's all about the journey.
All right, let's move on to the next story here. Well, talk about journeys. Bong Joon Ho.
And meth, man.
Method Man?
Meth?
Oh. Is that your whole thing?
Yeah. I would never try it because I know, like... But it's probably awesome. I would never do it, but it's like if I had like a freebie.
Wait until you do
and you
steroids.
knew you wouldn't get addicted. I'd pick meth. It's probably a reason why, because it's probably awesome.
Did you see season 2? I think there's a better drug out there.
The new meth?
No, the heroin.
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me? That man was floating. Let's just move on here to Bong Joon Ho is coming back, the Oscar-winning director of Parasite and many other beloved films in the West. He's returning home. Returning to his roots for a Korean language movie, animated movie. It's going to be set in the deep sea. It's going to feature sea monsters, sea creatures, all of that good stuff. Apparently the premise focuses on an invertebrate that is under the impression that he's suffering from spinal disc herniation. What I have.
Oh, wow.
So an invertebrate obviously doesn't have a spine. I don't know who's gaslighting him. He's delusional. He's having some issues here. I wish I didn't have a spine, right? I wouldn't have these issues.
Yeah, but he'd be flopping around all over
Yeah,
the
I'd be
place.
flopping around like an eel.
Ew.
Have to be carried from place to place. Well, you're holding all my slimy body while wiggling around. Oh, I dropped him. Dropped the eel. This sounds interesting. Bong Joon Ho, first animated feature. I love when directors take a stab at animation. It's
right.
Obviously we love animation here.
It's selfish because it's like I want to do like another live action movie, but
this is why animated feature is a category at the Oscars, because of people like you. But go ahead.
I know, but like it's like, oh, would I rather see an animated, like if I had the choice, Bong Joon Ho, live action movie, or animated feature, I would pick live action. But whatever he wants to do, obviously he has an idea,
though?
and he's. Because I feel like he could just do more with
Serious question.
Yeah.
Why? Why can you do more with live action than you can with animation?
Not in the sense of like, obviously with animation you can just imagine it and you can make it.
Oh, yeah.
But there still is just something to a live action film that I think separates it a bit from animation.
So you're saying live action films are inherently better?
For me, personally. That's why I said it was selfish.
That is weird. Maybe you should talk to your therapist about that.
What would she have to say?
She might recommend you some fine animated films.
I love animated films.
Fine animated movies.
I just prefer live action. By the way, having to explain to her what we do was like...
Having to explain it to anyone.
But like to your therapist?
Right.
What if she listens?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Should have just told her you're a movie critic. That always works.
You can't be surface level. You got to dive into some things. But even try, yeah. Oof, I hope she doesn't listen. And if you are, well.
If you are, hit me up. Yeah. Let me know what I need to work on.
Well, yeah, probably. She's probably like, this is.
Like, oh, we got it now. Yeah, I found your issue here, Aaron.
It's even worse than I thought.
Recording podcast with a psychopath. 2 psychopaths. That's not here.
So tell me about you wanting to impale yourself on the space
needle. Yeah, right. So what's this about you planking?
And
your tox?
I don't know. It's just like something.
Yeah, something deep inside of you that needs to be addressed. Right.
About movies. I don't know. I think it's gonna be good. Obviously, he's a great director, and if he has a story he wants to tell, and this fits his vision, then obviously
it's
go
like
for
his
it.
Fucked up version of Finding Nemo in a way. You tell me you wouldn't rather watch a Finding Nemo directed
what's the
by Bong?
What's the what's the critique? What is he going after this time?
Oh, what is he commenting on?
Yeah,
pollution maybe.
Ooh,
right.
The ocean.
Deep sea, the mysteries of the ocean, right? It's always just kind of naturally intriguing.
It's still one of my favorite things when the guy's complaining about Parasite winning, and he goes into like how the Joker, it's like its message, and it was like literally the same message as Parasite, done like 5 times better than the Joker.
I still like Joker to this day. The internet hasn't talked me down from that.
No, it's a good movie.
Sometimes a movie gets so much backlash where I will start to think, is some of this valid? I think, I've heard some valid criticisms of Joker, but not many that I didn't make myself, and I still enjoyed it.
What's your favorite Joaquin performance?
The Master.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think because you got those 2 heavyweights, man, and they're so perfect together. When they're on the same side, when they're fighting and bickering.
Yeah, Amy Adams and Joaquin Phoenix are.
Yeah, exactly. And Philip Seymour Hoffman's not that bad either.
Speaking of which, Women in Window, Friday.
Oh,
finally coming
tomorrow.
Out. Yeah,
today.
Right
now.
Amy Adams, Oscar.
Check it out.
Oscar hype train.
Too
early in the year though, so it's gonna be another year.
Maybe not May. You can sneak in May if she's good enough.
Oh, she will be. What about movie? Best Joaquin movie? It's got to be Gladiator, I think, right? Or entertaining. I think The Master.
Oh, the best movie. Well, The Master is my favorite PTA, so.
Yeah, I think Master might be a better
like the movie
than Gladiator.
The star, clearly.
But in Gladiator, I just think it's just.
Oh, right. You're talking about his performance. Okay.
Like his performance, and how good the movie is. combined, I think that's probably the perfect blend. You know, he sung in Walk the Line.
I hurt myself today. I feel like I could have did that.
Oh yeah, Johnny. He only does his talk. Like a deep
It's
voice.
part of the music, man. It's
Yeah.
If someone else was singing it, if you got like, Whitney Houston to sing Walk the Line, she'd fucking rip it.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be Walk the Line. It would just be Whitney Houston killing it,
Yeah.
Walk the Line's got to have a bad singer. It's like all the Bob Dylan songs. If they're not sung off key, then I don't want it. I don't want it. You never heard
Bob
like an
Dylan
Elvis cover by like a
me.
really good singer on YouTube, and it's just like you've stripped all the soul from this.
Well, you got to do the Elvis voice, right?
Yeah, but they sing it like they're on American Idol.
Bob Dylan infuriates me.
Really? Well, you just can't get with the voice.
It's not good.
No, I'm not the biggest Bob Dylan fan. I'm
Like how? 'Cause he's not even like that good looking either. He's not like a good like Johnny Cash at least. Like, he's fucking Johnny Cash.
People
Slick-
like the Bob Dylan voice.
slick back
man.
hair,
A lot of people. It
black
works for
suit.
them.
Like he has a thing.
It works. His voice. You need to see him not as a singer. The voice is an instrument. It's like Kanye. The way that he's able to manipulate his voice, it adds personality. It's a Bob Dylan song because it's the nasally.
Well, fuck
The
Bob Dylan up.
times they are a changing. Like if you got someone like the times they are, that's stupid.
Beat the
You
shit
know
out of Bob Dylan.
Why? What the hell? That's ageism. All right, let's move on to the next story here. We have
Take a fucking time machine, go back and beat the shit out of young
time
Bob
machine
Dylan.
just for that. You're
Get him
gonna
right in the
spend
fucking
years.
larynx. Maybe he can sing better.
What would you do if he cashes your fist and says, "Hold on there, young fella"? Let's move on to the next story here. The tragedy.
I would respect it. My
You're
whole
like, you know
opinion
what?
would change on
Yeah.
him.
You know what? Sing me a tune, Bobby. The Tragedy of Macbeth, starring Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand, is coming to Apple. Coming to Apple TV. It's going to be directed by Frances McDormand's husband,
Jim.
who's also won a few Oscars, Joel Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Cohen. I guess Ethan's not coming along.
I like that.
Joel. Oh, that they're doing separate movies? Yeah, I wonder what Ethan's doing.
They should both make
He's just
movies
on
in the same
Xbox.
year.
See who's better?
See, yeah.
Let's see which one it was.
Mm-hmm.
Let's settle this right now. It's like Pacific Rim, the dual directors, right?
I mean,
You never saw Pacific Rim, right?
yeah. Big
Well, you know what's
robots.
interesting about this movie is apparently they're setting it. The characters are older. The characters of Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are older. Obviously, Denzel and France. I mean, this is very exciting. Macbeth is easily my favorite. I'm not that huge of a Shakespeare fan. I'm not going to act like I'm some Shakespeare aficionado, but I've always enjoyed the interpretations of Macbeth whenever I've come across them.
Every time I think about Macbeth, I think about Hamilton, where he writes a letter to Angelica, and he's talking about basically like he's like, oh, I hope you get this reference without me naming the play, and then he names the play in the next line, and it's Macbeth. Stupid, fucking Hamilton. Insulting her
I tuned
intelligence.
all that. Whenever I hear Hamilton, I just tune it out because
It's a good show.
it's natural response. It's a defense mechanism because I don't want to hear those raps. Hamilton, tune everything out.
Yeah.
Because I know the raps are coming.
Take the last 20 years, and think about like best actress, best actor, best director, and I think most people top fives would have Denzel, Frances McDormand, and the Coen brothers.
It's like a slot machine.
Yeah,
This was the Hollywood man at the slot machine.
but it's only Ethan, so you don't get all the jackpot.
No. Right.
Oh, Joel.
Yeah, no, it's Joel. Ethan's not involved.
I mean, just from that alone, I'm excited for. Like you said, I'm not a big Shakespeare guy in general either. I, not gonna throw the O word around, but
Shut the You're ridiculous. Your lack of respect for history is just unsettling.
no, we don't even know he's the real guy.
Someone wrote it. Shakespeare isn't. Maybe it's not Shakespeare. It could have been a pen name. Francis Bacon.
All right, well, I'm just saying some people think he's overrated, and
Who? Show me one person. I've legit never heard the criticism that Shakespeare is overrated. Marissa would be furious.
every high school student in an English class right now.
Not that he's overrated, but nobody wants to read Shakespeare in high school. That's the problem with school. We should be giving these idiot kids comic books. I'm not even joking, dude. When they say in basketball, when you're warming up, you don't go out and chuck up threes. You start from the basket.
I
Yeah.
start shooting once I
Yeah,
head in
you
the
start
gym.
half court. Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, Logo Aaron. You introduce kids to books that are easy to read, that are fun, and then on their own they will seek out Shakespeare. They will find Shakespeare. They will find Billy Shakes.
I did like Romeo and Juliet.
Of course you did. Yeah,
In
the
modern times.
shitty-ass, modern, goofy-ass Leonardo DiCaprio. You probably think that's one of the greatest performances ever, right?
I prefer Claire Danes in that movie, but
That is one goofy-ass movie.
I'm not too familiar with Macbeth. I think I've read it once in high school.
Yeah, they try and take the crown. That's the Scottish. I think they're Scottish. So it's the King of Scotland.
There's Macduff, right?
He's visited by 3 witches, and they're basically like, "Hey, if you do this, this, and this, you'll be king." And he's like, "I don't really want to do it." Lady Macbeth is the conniving one. Yeah. So that's what's so intriguing to me, is that it's going to be a conflicted Denzel Washington, unsure of what he should do. And also they're aging them up. So they said they wanted to add an element of a ticking time bomb, where they're in their 60s and their play for the throne is more of a, we don't know how much time we have left here. So to me, that just adds another layer of interest to this story of the motivations behind not only Macbeth, but like I said, the more interesting Lady Macbeth.
I think I hate Shakespeare because in English once it was like either write a paper or you have to recite the to be or not to be from memory, and I chose that because I thought it would be easier.
What?
I fucking nailed it though. You're
Patrick Stewart all of a sudden. Shakespeare's just hard to read, It
is very hard to read.
Yeah, that's that. Not that it's just confusing.
Dumb it down for us, Joel.
I like when they have the Shakespeare with the little interpretations on the side. It makes it simple for me.
Yeah,
but that's cool. Apple TV's got some things up their sleeve apparently. Apple needs a win, right?
That reminds me, I gotta redo my Disney Plus. My fucking credit card, my debit card that I have all my shit on. I go to 7.
It wasn't accepted by Disney Plus.
I go to 7-Eleven. I'm getting like a protein shake or whatever I was doing. I get it, and it's declined. That's always embarrassing because everyone thinks I'm poor.
Happened to me at the vet, actually. It was very embarrassing.
So I'm like, oh, well, like...
They kept telling me, like, it's $135. I'm like, yeah, okay.
But this was like a $3.99 purchase. So everyone's probably thinking, like, I'm super poor.
Some fucking bum.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's not... And you kind of sound douchey. You're like, well, that's not possible. It's like, is the machine broken? Cause like...
Right. That's...
Yeah, it's like...
My whole thing was, like, when I was telling the guy, I was like, dude, I just bought something with this card.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like maybe I am.
Scan it again.
Maybe I am poor.
Right,
just not keeping track of my finances.
Could be poor.
Maybe my identity got stolen, which it kind of did.
Is this another story? Is this a story that's...
It's connected.
Okay.
I don't know if it got stolen or not. I actually wouldn't, whatever. You can have it. See, maybe my identity will work better for you, bud. Good work. You
hurry up and get to fan questions.
Millions of other identities you could still buy. Choose mine. Long story short, someone called and claimed my card lost, which wasn't me.
Oh.
So my card didn't work anymore, and so I had to go get a new card, and I just all my subscriptions are fucked up.
Oh, that sucks, man. That really does suck.
And
what an asshole.
It was the card I have everything under. So it's just like, I guess I'm just going to do everything I normally do. And whenever it happens, like if I ever just turn on Hulu and it doesn't work, it's like, oh, I guess that was on that card.
Yeah.
If I go to the gym, it doesn't work, oh, I guess it was on that card.
It's out of your hands.
Yeah, I'll let it come to me. And if I don't remember anything, I think that's a good thing. 'Cause it's like, well, I don't use it anymore. So I was probably paying for this shit that I don't even use. So maybe it could be a positive.
All right, let's move on to the next story here. We have Regina King is set to direct Bitter Rot. It's an adaptation of an Image Comics series for Legendary Pictures, and she's obviously coming off of her first feature film as a director, One Night in Miami, which we both loved and was critically acclaimed for not only her direction but the performances, all around a great movie. So I'm very excited for this, for her second movie that's going to be produced by Ryan Coogler. And the comic is set in the 1920s, like I mentioned. It's about a fractured family of monster hunters who are hit with kind of an unimaginable evil that descends upon New York City. So it sounds like elements of getting the band back together, right? There's some history here. Great monster hunters. Something happened.
Love a good band.
Yeah.
Getting back together.
Drove a wedge, and here come the monsters again. Who we gonna call? I like the... No, sorry, it's not Bitter Rot. It's Bitter Root. I like the title, Bitterroot. Love the premise. Regina King, like I mentioned.
It's always going to be that one member you try to get back. Bad blood. Something happened.
He's the final one that refuses.
Yeah.
Then he comes in to save the day. Right at right at the end of the second act. Gearing up for the third act. Now the band's back.
Some tropes I can't get enough of.
Me too.
And I love them.
That's my favorite trope. I won't help, and then he helps.
I thought the reluctant mentor was your favorite trope.
I like the reluctant mentor. Yeah, that's a good one. I also enjoy the absent-minded genius, the Dumbledores, the Yodas of the world. That their mind's always on something else. It's good. Dumbledore probably should have just been less absent-minded. A lot of stuff happened under his nose. But this is the direction that studios are going, dude. When it comes to comic book adaptations, it's not just superheroes. There is something out there called Image Comics or Dark Horse Comics, and a lot of the Image Comic stories don't feature superheroes. They might feature a monster hunter. They may feature sci-fi elements. But these are the stories that I think we're going to see continued to be adapted and brought to the big screen because there's just a well of IP out there that's untapped.
What do you think it is, actors turn directors? Do you think it's that's curious. Obviously Regina King is one of the best actors working today, very accomplished. You think it's something where it's all right, I've been there, done that. Let me try to expand, and do other things that I maybe light a different fire under me, try something new? Or is it something where maybe not frustration, but waiting for roles that you want? It's well, I could just make my own thing.
Yeah, I guess for every person it is different. But I think that inside of a lot of actors, there is that itch to direct. Mm-hmm. And I think people underrate what goes into directing when it comes to the performances of a movie. You'll see a great performance, and not the only thing, but the first thing a person thinks is, wow, that actor gave a great performance. A lot of that is the director guiding them through that performance. Let's do this way. Let's try that. Let's do this. And the best performances are usually when the actor and the director are on the same page, where it is a symbiotic relationship to get the best out of it. So a lot of being a director is knowing how to act and knowing how to direct your actors to act. So it's kind of a natural
I think
transition.
It translates well, players who become coaches, right? They know the game, they know certain nuances and kind of
I think for
better
King,
relations.
it's more I can do this.
Yeah, no,
I mean, she was just looking for an opportunity.
She made a great debut, so I'm excited for this. But I was just in general, actors like Olivia Wilde or other.
Well, Chris Evans said that he kind of just was getting tired of acting. Mm-hmm. Now he seems to be backtracking on that a bit, but that was his reason for not wanting to return to the MCU. But like you said, I think it can be, in certain situations where an actor just feels they're not getting the best roles for their career. Let me try directing, maybe. Directing some TV or something like that. But I think for some of these directors or actors turned directors, it's just the opportunity is afforded to them, where you become such a big name like a Regina King or a Chris Evans, and you can kind of throw your weight around, saying, "Hey, I have this idea," or they just all know each other, so it's "Hey, Regina, I got this script." Oh, maybe I should see if I can direct this script. Or Ryan Coogler, hey, reaches out, or you see it a lot with male actors. So it's kind of nice to see that you like you said, with Olivia Wilde, now with Regina King, where, we can do both too. Yeah. It's not just Clooney or Clint. Fan questions?
What's the best movie Clooney directed?
A lot of his movies, you look back on them and think, that was better when I watched it. Like The Ides of March. When I saw The Ides of March, I thought this is the best political thriller ever, and then House of Cards came out.
I was just better. I was excited for Suburbicon.
I never saw that. That was a Matt Damon one, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's I could be the Coens.
No, no, he's someone where it was he's becoming the next Clint Eastwood. He's going to have this second half of his career that's from a directing standpoint, it's just as good as his acting, right? Mm-hmm. And he's been fumbling at every movie that he drops. So
that's for the fan to decide.
Yay! People, you call up to the show, you better be ready. That's what you're supposed to do. Sitting there arguing and you're trying to spell your name and all of this other stuff. It's not your show, it's my show. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. Don't call up here unless you got something to say.
All right, we're going to speed through these because I don't know what time we're on here. This question here from Harris. If you had to do a United States versus world basketball team, who would be your starting fives?
It's U.S.
Curry point, Harden 2, LeBron 3, Durant. Who's our center? Who's our American center? There's no American centers. Davis. Put Davis at the 5.
Yeah.
The world team.
Giannis, Embiid, Luka.
Luka at point, right?
Oh, well, who else could be in the backcourt? R.J. Barrett, he's Canadian.
R.J. Barrett at the 2. Yeah. He's probably the 4th or 5th best shooting guard in the NBA. I'm trying to think of international 3s and 4s.
KP can go to the 4.
Right. Yeah, you could put Luka at the 3.
Jokic.
Dennis Schroeder at the 1, maybe.
Jokic would be the 5 or the point guard because he pretty much does everything. A lot of big men.
Yeah, the international players, they do have a lot.
Embiid at the 5, Jokic at the 4, Luka at the 3. Who else did we say? Oh, Giannis. Giannis at the 3, Luka at the 2. We're going big.
Ben Simmons at the 1. Australian. That's a
fucking
huge lineup.
Huge team.
Yeah. So what is it? Ben Simmons, RJ, Luka, Giannis, and
No,
Embiid?
RJ's on the bench.
RJ's coming off. Oh, I put him.
Luka got to go 2, Giannis at the 3, Jokic at the 4, and then you have to go Embiid at the 5, no?
Wait, you just put Giannis at the 2?
You're the 3.
Oh, okay. So Luka's at the 2, Ben's at the 1.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, we're going super.
So you need
big.
to have Jokic. You can't have Embiid and Jokic not on the team.
Yeah, it is kind of big versus small.
Yo, US might get fucked up.
Nah, they can hold them, man. They're going to be too fast.
That's true. I guess
Jokic and Embiid are going to be seeing stars trying to follow Durant and LeBron around that front court. Davis can't throw weight, but I mean, for American centers, who else do we have? Or another American 4? Dwight? Dwight's still pretty good coming off of the bench. He's still a big body. You know, he could throw down with Jokic, I guess. You're no longer American.
I'm just saying, that's a fucking squad.
You just built the ultimate international team. What are you doing to us?
I mean, but they have the 2 front runners for MVP in their starting 5, and Giannis, the past 2-time MVP.
This question here from Matthew. If you can add one new category to the Oscars, what would it be?
Oh, that's
Best popular movie.
Ugh. You're an advocate for that?
No.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, I am, from a rating standpoint. Why not? Why not? Bring in more people.
Best comedy.
Best comedy?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a genre.
I'm an advocate for a stunt award.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I think best stunt work, where obviously the stunt people are recognized, and also the coordinators. So much goes into stunt work, man. That's why Vladimir Furtick is so respected by his fellow actors and people in the industry, because he's been around, he's worked on so many movies, and he's good at his job. So I think that definitely needs to be recognized in an official capacity at the Oscars.
Yeah.
If this question here, also from Harris, if you had to take any attribute from any athlete ever, what would it be? Steph Curry's shooting.
Okay. You're viewing it in a different way than I am. Because I can say Peyton Manning's arm.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to play quarterback.
Why?
Because I don't have the other attributes to be a quarterback.
Yeah, but if I have Steph Curry's shooting, I'm in the door. I've got a foot in the door. That man's shooting is a different type of
So
attribute.
you would just be a catch and shoot? Because you don't have his dribble. You don't have his ability to
I got
create
my
space.
dribbles.
Maybe. He could be like Novak, Steve
Dude,
Novak.
but I could be.
But he's still good at like creating space. Like that's still a fucking...
Steve Novak?
I'm just saying, like...
No, Curry is. Yeah. Curry's very
No, I'm
shifty.
just saying, like, even the spot-up shooters, they still have to get open. Like, they still do other things.
Right.
Like,
Well, I was always a good off-the-ball player.
and
I
I'm
want to
like...
toot my own horn here.
So I'm thinking, like, what's something
Prime Rip Hamilton.
that would benefit me in everyday life now?
Right.
Because I could say, like, LeBron's explosiveness, and so I'll just be explosive.
You at the grocery store making
Yeah.
hard cuts.
It's like, yeah, it's like a little old lady who can't reach the top shelf. I just come up.
You just come out of nowhere, fucking windmill it in her cart.
That's tough. Maybe, like...
LeBron's photographic memory.
Is that an athletic ability, though?
I think so. It's a mental ability, right? It's an attribute. It's a mental attribute. No, I would take it would be Steph Curry shooting for me, without a doubt. Or maybe speed. Like the speed of Tyreek Hill.
I don't know. Maybe, like...
Because it would just be fun to smoke anybody in a race. Like, hey, you want to race?
Like Trout's hand-eye. Because if I had that hand-eye, I could probably...
Juggle.
I know, but I still couldn't hit like a baseball. Like, you can have hand-eye, you can make contact. But I feel like hand-eye coordination, that's everyday life. I don't know. That's a tough question. I'm thinking too much into it. I should have just said fucking Tom Brady's quarterback athletic ability, and I was so I can be in the NFL, but I couldn't be because I'm not tall enough or big enough.
Yeah, no, that's why you got to go Steph Curry shooting. At the end of the day, you'll be dominating LA Fitness. This question here from Modesta.
Yeah, Aaron Donald's strength, so I can just fucking
Fight people at the club.
yeah.
Rick Sanchez versus Omni-Man. Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay. What?
That man Rick would have some contingencies.
He would fucking rip his head off.
But if Rick came into
Make
the fight
Morty
prepared,
drink his blended head.
I don't think Omni-Man's that cruel. The train was just a perfect opportunity.
He would.
They just happened to
juice
be at
him.
a train. He would juice him. Yeah, Rick. I don't know if Rick's got the contingencies for that. This is a better one from Chichery at All Might versus Homelander versus Superman versus Omni-Man. Well, once again, Superman. You threw in Superman, you ruined it, so it's not a good one anymore because he's stomping all of them. All Might versus Omni-Man would be good. Homelander, I think, gets stomped without a doubt, right?
From Omni-Man? Yeah.
This question here from Chichery as well. Best fire user. So I guess fictional characters that use fire.
Charmander.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Char Char. I'll go Endeavor from My Hero. Very similar character to like a Homelander or an Omni-Man, a Superman archetyped who is kind of morally compromised.
I'll pick you.
Why? When I used to spit?
No, I'm saying you smoke that fire.
I smoked that loud.
Gas? Isn't that what you
At
say? Like
times.
you get some like sick buddy, like, yo, it's just fire, dude.
I like calling it loud though, because when people are like they smell it, I'm like, yeah, that's just loud, right? This question here for if everyone was, and the name was cut off. Are you excited for the Sopranos prequel? And would you guys do a series review? I would love to absolutely do a Sopranos revisited. My mom is rewatching it or watching it for the first time, and I hear her listening to an episode, and Christopher goes, "Tone, they're moving in on our turf. We need to go to DEFCON 4." I love that show. It's absolutely brilliant, and I am excited for the prequel. I know people always, when you hear a prequel or a sequel for a beloved franchise, the first thing people say is, "Oh, can't you think of anything else?" But I like the idea that it's Gandolfini's son playing the young Tony, and they had those flashbacks throughout the series. They talked about his life, and
It's coming soon, right?
yeah, I think it's coming this year. I think it's supposed to drop this year. I love this. I love the title of it. I think it's so obnoxious. The Many Saints of Newark. John Bernthal is also going to be in it, and Leslie Odom Jr. as well. So yeah, are you excited for that?
Yeah, I am. I haven't watched The Sopranos in a while. Maybe I should rewatch that. It's a trip.
It is such a and it's got such rewatchability because of the episodes that kind of just act as one-offs.
When Furio says he doesn't like Christopher Columbus and the rest of the gang gets so offended.
Yeah. Well, it's because Columbus was the northerner.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, they've got that beef. Yeah, that's great because he brings in his Italian perspective, and they basically tell him to shut up. They're all upset at him. That's good stuff. This question here from Kevin Oki: who's funnier, Kumail Nanjiani or John Mulaney?
John Mulaney's fucking hilarious.
He's a
human
stand-up
being.
guy,
Yeah,
and he's got the.
has
Kumail ever done stand-up?
Yes, I think he has. Will his jackness affect his comedy?
I don't think so, man. He's just got the perfect delivery. His jokes are always so funny because of his delivery.
I was thinking of Silicon Valley when he has the chain.
Yeah,
That's one of the funniest things I've
you
ever
love that
watched in
joke.
my life.
You really love that.
The setup to that whole episode is just set up to that joke, and the payoff is fucking perfect. He's a big guy now, man.
I think he'll be fine. I think they're gonna play into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be part of his character that he is very arrogant. He's an arrogant god who's pretending to be a Bollywood star, so he's just going to be flowing with the ego. And
He's keeping it though. I was watching a video on him at the gym, and trying to get some tips, trying to get that Kumail look for the summer. But it's he's yeah, I'm just this is me now, and he's I always used to make fun of people like me, but I'm acting the same way, and he's happy, good for him and everything. But it's that's quite a commitment because you have to think of roles also. Can he get the same roles he would have gotten before this? And now he's got to look for other roles. just because the way Hollywood is. They go by appearance, and it's kind of like fucked up and everything, whatever. But it's like, now that you're this big jack guy, can you play like the funny sidekick? Can you be in Lovebirds? Can Kumail now be Lovebirds Kumail or Big Sick Kumail?
He has to evolve. I think that's a good sign. He doesn't get stuck in the rut. Doesn't get stuck in the comedic rut where he's making the same mediocre comedies. Not to say that his comedies have been mediocre. Big Sick, Stuber, 2 classics right there.
Yeah, can he be in Stuber now? Because like the funny part about Stuber is it's
the big and small dynamic.
Yeah, now it's the big and big.
No, well, Stuber 2, you have to write that in.
Oh, that's funny.
Stuber 2,
That's a good
Kumail's
joke.
like, I became a cop as well.
Look at me.
I'm a cop. I'm just thinking of him saying that is making me legit. That's part of why I did love Stuber so much, because of those two and their chemistry. He's just fucking hilarious.
When you think about like the funny jacked people in movies,
Yeah, it's always the
like-
meatheads.
yeah,
He's not a meathead.
and he's better than that.
Maybe he could change the perception of that.
Yeah,
I'm jacked and funny,
yeah,
and
I hope so.
but genuinely funny. You know, and you're laughing with me.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say?
Who knows what the fuck we're on?
You know, it's fun. It's like when Jonah Hill was like, I think it was like some award. Like he was presenting an award or something, and he was kind of like, this is when he got skinny, and he's like talking about, I think it was like, why did the chicken cross the road or whatever. And he's like, I don't know, I forget what it was, but they went into like, and everyone doesn't think he's like funny because like he got really skinny now and he's not fat, so people like don't think he's that funny anymore.
Right,
he's like
right.
going in and talking about himself. But yeah, John Mulaney, he might be the best stand-up I think today, and he just got out of rehab, which is good. Also divorced his wife, which is bad. So,
Well, the ups and downs of life, right? Ebbs and flows.
yeah.
This question here from Timmy V.
I love the joke when he's like talks about his wife being obsessed with Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, that is funny.
It's like, the boy is 5'11".
This question here from Timmy V. Bo and Aaron, aren't you guys mad that House of the Dragon isn't starting with Aegon's Conquest? I know DOD is great, but still. Yeah, good point there. I think there's definitely an avenue for them to go back, 100 years or so?
Well, that was the
From Dance of
original thing.
Dragons?
It was like everything's like, oh, prequel will take place 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones. Obviously, we know Dance of Dragons takes place about 150 years before Game of Thrones, and I think that if they were going to do the anthology, maybe it would have made more sense to start at the beginning, but I think this is the one to kind of, maybe if Game of Thrones ended like more like better and people actually liked it and it stuck the landing, so maybe you can do a little, because there are dragons, but it's not, I think, as, you know, it's Aegon going around just fucking burning people alive. This is, and I think like this story with the Targaryen Civil War, dragon on dragon, two equally stacked forces going at each other. This is the one to be like, well, you didn't like Game of Thrones. Well, you didn't like the ending of Game of Thrones. Well, here's this to get you back into it.
That is a great point. This story lends itself more as a follow-up because of the response to Season 8, because it's more similar. Like you mentioned, the Aegon Conquest story, it's epic. It could be an epic tale told maybe in a one-off series if they do go that route where they kind of make this an anthology. And maybe if Season 8, like you said, stuck the landing, you give the fans the treat of Aegon's Conquest. It's not that complex of a story, but it's featuring a character that's referenced throughout the show and the books. He kind of sets the stage for what Westeros became, the Westeros that we were living with while watching the show. I think eventually we will get that, whether if it's live action or an anime. That'd be a great anime series, Aegon's Conquest. That's how you can do these one-offs. That's what The Witcher is doing, right? They're doing The Witcher Blood and whatever. It's a spin-off that will feature Henry Cavill in an animated role. I think it's only a matter of time before HBO goes that route. So, like you mentioned, House of the Dragon is a story where it is more complex. There's the political machinations, there's the scheming, there's the backstabbing, and there are the dragons. And as we know, the Dance of the Dragons was a kind of cataclysmic event for House Targaryen specifically. This is what really started turning the wheels for their downfall. So just naturally more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we would have been satisfied with both, right?
Yeah, I would have.
Any Targaryen stuff is good stuff. All right, guys, thank you for listening to this podcast for this week. That does it for the Nerd Soup podcast. We're done
What?
for this week.
No.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
I don't know.
We'll see. Time will tell. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like and share this video. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell everybody. Just yell on the street. Yell on the street. Aaron's doing steroids. That's arc number 1, because you didn't even pick up on it. You already established arc number 2.
What?
Aaron tries meth once.
So I'm just gonna be a guinea pig. I'm just gonna take a bunch of drugs.
Yeah, that'd be funny. A nice little playlist on the channel.
I can't even smoke weed without having a panic attack. Think I'm gonna do well on meth and fucking steroids?
That wouldn't be entertaining if you were doing well.
Yeah.
You're the one who keeps suggesting it.
I just brought it up. I don't know. If I was just I don't know. I
No,
don't
you
even know.
don't. Okay, I get it. You don't like the channel. You don't want to do things for the channel. It's all right.
You think I want to fucking take steroids to improve the channel? Huh? I got a guy.
Well, would you look at that? It's finally over. Hey guys, Bo Oliver here for one final send-off. Now, before I beg you guys to like and share this video, I'd like to thank our very special Patreon pledgers. We are very proud of the community we've been able to build here at Nerd Soup, and it would not have been possible without our Patreon supporters. You guys are the true MVPs of this channel. Everything I've said, you keep the fridge full, you keep the lights on. There aren't enough words to thank you guys, but we'll do it anyway. Thank you. And we have a few videos coming up that have been suggested to us by Patreon pledgers. My Hero Academia, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Full Metal Alchemist will be reviewed by Marissa, and yours truly, and Castlevania, which will be reviewed by Marissa and Aaron. And if you'd like to consider donating to our Patreon page, you can visit patreon.com/nerdsoup and check out some of the rewards we offer to our listeners. And really, we'd like to thank everyone who takes the time out of their day to watch our videos. Patreon pledger or not, your support is what keeps us motivated to keep giving the world our opinions on movies and TV shows and video games and pop culture, even though no one asked for it. We're still here, we're still yapping, and we hope you continue to join us. I'm Bo Oliver, and I support this message.